Thank you all for being here. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Welcome again. So, all of you have heard my sitting posture and form, but I like to go over it every time. And I like tonight that we have a variety of different forms. And I mean, I'll start with, look at that right there. You're already settling right into it. Yeah. Yeah, that's really good. The bottom leg and the top leg are right in front next to each other. Then we have Seiza, or that form right there where you're sitting on the pillow. You can turn it up sideways. If you haven't tried that, that might be a new posture for you two to check out. Yeah. That one's my go-to for longevity, that stuff doesn't fall asleep, because I can really get my hips up higher. And then we have the chair with the pillow. So you got that as an option. Dexter, thank you. And then Amber in a comfort, both knees up. That's an option, you know. I know. That's right. That's right. Yeah, and then the chair without a pillow. That's an option. And then this is another one of my favorites. Is one leg up. You'll see me talk a lot, and I'll do this. This is another posture. So they're all good postures. You can't get this wrong. It's really about having yourself in a position that you can, honor and sit like Mount Mauna Kea, and really have that upright posture. And then if you do need to move, feel free to do it, but move with intention. Try to move slowly and very almost like it's a ritual. If I was going to move my foot out, I might move it just nice and slow. And if I was going to tuck it back in, nice and slow. Amber tucks hers back in like this sometimes, but just to do it with intention, not just try to move slowly. Kind of like how when I strike the bell and open and close. Again, to sit with your back nice and straight if possible, so you're like Mount Mauna Kea, and that's sitting upright posture. You might feel some tightness in your back if you've never sat with your back nice and straight. The mudra that we work with is left hand out, right hand, and your thumbs are touching just barely together, like if there was a piece of rice paper sitting right there. It goes 3 inches right below your belly button. This mudra can teach you a lot. I would do this all the time when I go unconscious. I'd be like, look down, and it's like, what happened? And you just kind of like, you got to be paying attention to keep that softness there. Again, awareness is what meditation is all about. So through the breath, through the mudra, you can learn a lot about yourself. Are you tight and upright, or can you relax your shoulders and drop your shoulders and still have the mudra there and sitting with it right below that belly button?
What is the mudra? Does it have a meaning or significance, or other than, like you said, like a point of maybe awareness or?
Yeah. Well, I like to think of it as the bottom of when you breathe diaphragmatically, it's like at that, the tanden, or is it or Chinese that says chi? I believe, or like in Tai Chi, that like you have your chi, that center point of your body, and think of it as if you were holding it. And I don't know, it comes to me like my dad would say, like it's like you're holding a baby right there. And then you touch, and it's like you're honoring that bottom base of your diaphragmatic breath when you breathe in, and you feel it all the way down to that bottom of that base, right where your hands are holding, and then let that be an honoring of that space of your hara or your na'au. Great question, thank you. And then the gaze again, your chin is forward and your eyes are at a 45-degree angle looking in front of you. And you want your vision to be wide and broad. You don't want it to go myopic or focus on anything directly in front of you. This carpet is a great teacher right here. Um, and your mind will want to focus in on something. I've seen faces, I've seen animals in the carpet. That's my mind making up stuff and wanting to get me focused on something. If I pay attention to my breath, it comes right back to a broad, wide vision. And your job is to keep it nice and broad and wide. The way that I just said it happens is with the breath. To follow the breath diaphragmatically, you can't think of a thought and pay attention to your breath simultaneously. So it'll break that cycle of being in your thinking, even if it's for a split second. And you can go, I go unconscious on breathing in all the time, and I'm up here, and can I be conscious of that breath breathing into my diaphragm? Okay, so we got diaphragmatic breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. If you notice yourself caught in a thought, just give yourself a little smile that you noticed it. It could just be just getting those cheeks up or the sides of your mouth up just a little bit. Just say thank you. I notice you're there, and it's not bad. It's not trying to push it away. It's just saying, I got you. We're here, and I'm breathing, present with the group. We're going to sit for 20 minutes, and then I'll give a short 10-minute talk, and that's called a Dharma talk, and then we'll close with a 10-minute sitting, another meditation. Any questions, or did I miss anything? Okay. Let's go ahead and today I honor our new bell. My mom and dad gave me this for my birthday, so I could have that as it was in their Sangha for about 30 years, so to carry on and continue the path of DojoX Meditation Group, the Sangha, is carried on through my lineage and my mom and dad, and them being both Zen priests. So we carry that tradition on, and you'll hear listen for the resonance and the tone of it, and the history in it will ring through your core of your body. So, all right, so let's go ahead and get comfortable. Sit with that back so it feels right. You can do the mudra if you want. You cannot get this wrong. You're perfect as you are. Thank you all so much for coming. So we begin. Thank you. So today I want to speak to dreaming and being the dream. And I'm going to explain that a little bit further, the difference, and some awareness that came to me last night in a dream. And so first, if I start out with the dream, that, well, I've been dreaming a lot lately. It seems like I'm in my sleep, I'm dreaming. And I want to say that also you're dreaming when you're awake. And so when I was dreaming last night, I was dreaming that I was leading a sangha, and there was about 75 to 100 people in the space. And the first seeing it all happening and being or dreaming and witnessing the dream as everybody started to get seated and I'm getting everything ready, and as I went up to light an incense to start, it was like somebody started playing some rock and roll music right in the beginning. And I noticed myself, I noticed it, but yet I didn't react to it. I didn't get like like stop, or I just witnessed it. And I went to the person that was had the music, and I asked him, could you please turn that off? And so I then continued with moving forward to leading the Sangha in a meditation. And for some reason, things weren't happening or going as planned or as I thought they should. But yet I was still witnessing the dream happening, but I wasn't reacting to the circumstances. And then it got to a point where people started walking out. And man, I woke up like totally hooked in. And I was like it jarred me. And it was like I all of a sudden I was being the dream, and I was like being hooked by their actions instead of just letting the things take place. And I woke up and I was like distraught. I felt my energy. I was like I felt shame that I had screwed things up. I was laying there in bed kind of like, what the heck just happened? And I was hooked into being the dream, not just dreaming. And so I laid there and then started following my breath again and went back to breathing into my hara as I was laying there. And I noticed myself start to let go of being the dream and going back into dreaming, and I was able to then drift back off to sleep. But I was hooked or startled in when I was being dreamed. So the difference of dreaming is you're witnessing the dream happening, but yet you're not hooked into it emotionally. You're not giving it any meaning when I was asleep. Do you see that? And then when I gave it meaning, I was actually attached to being the dream. It's an interesting correlation then when we look at being awake and we're dreaming when we're awake. And then you can be the dream, and then you're emotionally hooked into everything that's happening throughout your day, and you're being pulled around and led by the wounds of your past and other people's actions that have you actually responding or reacting instead of responding. And so you can either be dreaming when you're awake, or you can be the dream. And the only thing that gives the dream meaning is the meaning that you give it. So the practice of zazen, of sitting in stillness and silence, is the dream is happening in the mind at a very rapid rate all the time. It doesn't stop. I mean, maybe for some people they can shut off their thinking, but especially me being neurodivergent, ADD, and dyslexic, it's always going at a very fast rate. And so, through my practice of sitting every single day to start my day, where I may wake up jarred from a dream and be the dream, and I'm like in a weird mood or a funk, if I started engaging right away with Amber or my kids, I would be the dream and I would emotionally, come on, Bodhi, you're not getting ready for school fast enough. That's my common one. I think he should be on time and on a schedule, you know? And so I choose to get up and take the time. I was going to say make sure, but I think it's about not making sure, but that I have that relationship with the dream before I engage into my day to day and what my day is going to look like, from that I am dreaming, and that I can go through and respond instead of being the dream. And that's reacting from the wounds of your past, as if somebody says something and you snap back at them, or if somebody does something and they betrayed me, that's all reaction from wounds of your past, and that's you being the dream. And so our practice of sitting together is the willingness to witness the dream but not be the dream. And you get better and better. I get better and better at witnessing the dream, especially in my sleep. That the idea of, oh, I can actually lucid dream when I'm asleep, and I could lucid dream when I'm awake. So can you play with the idea of, like, I'm doing it when I'm sleeping and I'm doing it when I'm awake, and be curious if you don't dream, or if you do dream and you're like, I'm not even aware of what's happening, to have that curiosity of, like, maybe I am aware and I'm just being the dream, and I get woke up from nightmares. That's me, like, I'm the dream and I'm attached to it. Or can I just witness the thing happening and let it play out? Sometimes I'll wake up from a dream, be the dream, and then I'll breathe and go back into it and start the dream right from where it left off. And I can just keep watching it play out when I disconnect from me actually being attached to being the dream. So in day-to-day life, the practice of sitting in meditation is so that you can have the awareness that you're not actually the dream of your reality of the day. And it makes it such a more inquisitive place to go through when you're, like, when I'm sleeping and I'm curious what's happening in the dream, I can have that same curiosity when I'm awake and go through the day with, wow, with that childlike curiosity or instinct. Ooh, look, I became the dream. That became so important to me, and maybe I got triggered, and then I can disconnect and say, Amber, man, I'm really sorry. I didn't want to show up that way. And I can choose to change from being the dream to dreaming, and respond versus react. So our practice is to dream, and dream freely without being the dream. So to practice that, and when you sit, that's what we're working on, is to dream. And then we can then, in my practice with coaching, or with businesses, I help people dream something that may seem impossible when you want to be the dream, and then we create the dream from non-attachment and go forward to it with a curiosity, or childlike curiosity, and you can watch it unfold in front of you, and it never looks linear. It's always in a, like a yarn being thrown on something, but as long as you stay curious, you can create and be a part of the dream, and not be led by being the dream, and your emotions and your wounding from your past actually create your reality. Any questions?
I had a dream I ate this big marshmallow.
Did you?
And I woke up, my pillow was gone.
You probably ate the marshmallow.
I was coughing up feathers.
There you go. Yep.
Oh,
Good
So-
question. We like
trying to be serious here.
when we can like step back and not be like so like you can have like more intention, I guess, on like the dream, or I mean what you want to create, like you're saying, you know, and stuff like that.
Yeah, like
not getting too caught up in like the emotions of like you mentioned like, oh, shame or fear, or you know, like I noticed like for me, you know, like or like really wanting something to happen, or you know, then you're like, yeah, the emotions on like, yeah, and it's like since I've been meditating more, you know, like I'll catch myself with that, and then I just like, let it go, like
there it is. Yes.
like it's heavy, like otherwise.
Yeah. So if something happens that you're wanting, I'm very trained at wanting things and expecting them to happen, and so I got like 5 decades plus now, 5.5 decades of the learning to not be that attached to it, because it if I don't hit the external outcome, it literally means nothing. Only if I become the dream, then it means something. But if I can say like, oh, I wanted to, well, for me, it's like I wanted to expand my practice, and it's not happening at the rate that I think it should happen. And then when I get shameful on myself, I'm not doing enough, that I think I should be doing more, that's me now attached to that. Versus saying, oh, look, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. To keep moving forward, serving people is my job. And to be in that childlike curiosity with like, wonder who I'm going to serve today.
And it's like more open and inviting versus like, you know,
Yes.
or whatever.
Yes. Yeah, there's an analogy in the Zen tradition of having an open palm versus grabbing or trying to push something to happen.
The sand thing, or like you pick up, or is it? I've heard of like having sand in your hand, it'll stay in your hand, but if you like try to, it'll like fall between your fingers or something.
Yeah. So like if you, if we, the sand for me would be, yeah, to stay in your hand. And then if I try to grasp it, it's going to fall out. And if I try to force it to add more, then it's going to fall out. So that's like pushing it. And can I just be okay with what's there and then move forward from that place of the dream, not attached to the dream, but being willing to have a dream. I mean, I know some people that their minds won't let them dream right away, and then to just take baby steps of what would be a dream for today, you know. So just to play with it and see how you be the dream or dream and lucid dream in that dream. And it's not about getting it right or wrong. It's like last night. I woke up and I was like, what the? I was like, should I get out of bed? I was pissed. I was like, shit. Like I said, I shame. I was like, I want to sit up. And I might have even sat up. But then I said, oh, yeah, that's right. And I took some breath and like, I'm dreaming. But it was reality for a second. And before it was like stuff was happening that was like, for me, that felt terrible. I mean, witnessing it, but like the music, and I was just like, could you please turn that off? You know, really just subtle and soft, and you know, being in relationship. I mean, it's a great opportunity for that practice, and no better way to do it than being in relationship with people, because you'll see it happen really fast. I'll get hooked really fast, and me and her have been working on it for almost 30 years together. So
it's like no, it doesn't end. Right?
yeah,
Like the
yeah,
work never ends.
yeah. It's a lifelong practice.
Yeah.
the term daily life practice. There's no end to it. Once you close your eyes and you breathe out for the last time, then you're done. Then you can move on. Yeah, yeah. From this body, right? So, excellent. Well, thank you for letting me share that. I never know where that's going to go, and that felt really good for me of an experience that I had last night. And I was like, oh, this is what I'm going to talk about. And it was just like viscerally real for me, and I saw it. So thank you for seeing it with me. Enjoy the dreaming and being the dream.
That's very helpful.
All right, excellent. Yeah, that's. Thank you for coming tonight.